here. Obviously, the last time we saw you, tough day at the office for you in France. So I guess just what's life been like since then, and now getting to fight in Sydney again?
Back to work, back to training, and just doing what I've been doing since the past 10 years, like training every day, getting better. So that's what I'm doing after a win, that's what I'm doing after a loss, so yeah, nothing had changed.
How soon after that fight did you want to get back in camp? Because obviously it was a tough fight. I guess health-wise, did you take some time off, or did you just immediately want to get back in there to try to erase that loss?
I wanted to get back in there as soon as I could, but obviously that was a bit hard to get a fight right away. I just spent a couple of weeks back home in France and enjoy my friends and family as well as I could, even if it was hard to have a good time after a loss, but I tried my best. And then I tried to be on these cards already. At first I was not supposed to be on the card because too many Aussies in the UFC now, so that's a good thing. So yeah, it was hard for me to be on the card, but eventually this guy, I think his opponent got injured or something, and they asked me, I was ready to go, so perfect timing.
Are you going to want to fight in France again, or was it kind of difficult with being pulled in so many directions with relatives and friends and everything, and then having to fight like that?
I'll definitely fight in France again, 100%. Even if it's like at the other side of the world, I'll try to be fighting in France every single show.
And then, obviously, your opponent, Jonathan, what do you make of his skill set? I think he's a fellow Hex champion, so just what do you make of his skill set as a whole in there?
Yeah, good. He's pretty good. I've seen all his fights, and he seems to be quite good everywhere and confident, and yeah, should be a good fight.
And Kevin, just to your left, are you prepared to be the quote-unquote bad guy going in? Because you are an Anzac, we have adopted you, but do you feel like the crowd will lean more towards the guy that is from Melbourne?
The reality is most of my fights have been in Australia against Aussie boys, so I'm kind of used to it now. And to be fair, like the crowd here knows me a fair bit as well, so I'm not too sure if they would be against me. Obviously, they would want their guy to win, but it's okay, it is what it is. At the end of the day, it's only me and him in the cage, so it doesn't matter really.
So you're almost unsure of how the crowd will perceive you?
Yes, and it's not going to change a thing, so I don't really mind.
And can you just talk about, you've really, after bouncing around different countries, different gyms for many, many years, you've now really found a home at City Kickboxing. Can you talk about what's sort of the most important thing you've learnt while being there?
Just having a team where you feel comfortable, where you feel the guys are here to help you, you are here to help them. Everyone is here for the right reason. And I think that's the main thing, so you feel comfortable. And
Thank you.
Kevin, back here.
Yeah.
Ouais, Kevin en français.
C'est bien ce qui me semblait que je reconnaissais une tête.
Oui,
il y a un Français quand même sur place, ça fait plaisir.
Comment s'est passée cette préparation par rapport au dernier combat? Donc tu étais avec Aldric pour le combat en France. Là, comment ça se passe? Est-ce que tu as retrouvé une routine un peu plus habituelle?
Ouais. Quand j'étais en France avec Aldric, c'était super. J'ai vraiment bien aimé m'entraîner là-bas. Il y a plein de bons mecs pour s'entraîner. Et bien entendu, Aldric et les autres entraîneurs étaient très bons aussi. J'ai beaucoup progressé. Et là, de retour en Nouvelle-Zélande, c'est aussi super. La salle, tu connais, on a plein de monde pour s'entraîner. Et ouais, retrouver ma routine, pour moi, la Nouvelle-Zélande, c'est bien dans un sens où je suis vraiment focus sur mon entraînement. Il n'y a pas de distraction dans le sens où il n'y a pas tous mes potes d'enfance, ma famille, toute la bonne bouffe que je veux manger pendant que je suis au régime. Donc, pour moi, c'est pratique. Moi, je suis juste 100% focus sur ce que j'ai à faire.
Et donc, c'était plus dur à gérer pour toi, tout ce qui était extra-sportif lors de la préparation du dernier UFC Paris par rapport au combat habituel?
Ça allait parce que quand j'étais à Nice, c'était vraiment au tout début du camp. J'étais encore à plus de 2 mois du fight. Du coup, je pouvais encore me permettre pas mal d'excès, entre guillemets. Et ensuite, la fin du camp, j'étais rentré en Nouvelle-Zélande la faire. Et j'étais juste rentré les 2 dernières semaines avant le combat en France pour juste me réajuster à la différence aux 12 heures de décalage horaire. Donc en vrai, ça avait été aussi.
Et tu peux nous parler de ton adversaire, donc qui a connu une organisation que tu as connue aussi, qui est passé par les Contender Series, et un adversaire dur encore une fois.
Ouais, exactement. Donc en gros, avant que je sois signé à l'UFC, j'avais gagné la ceinture welterweight et middleweight à HX. Et une fois que j'ai été signé à l'UFC, ce mec-là a gagné la ceinture après moi des welterweight. Et il a eu pas mal de belles victoires contre des beaux adversaires d'ici. Et ouais, écoute, il est complet, il est jeune. Je crois qu'il a genre 26, 27 ans, quelque chose comme ça. Agressif, bon striker, bon grappleur. Et jeune et insouciant qui va venir déterminer devant son public. Mais malheureusement, je vais devoir le stopper devant son public de la même manière que j'ai été stoppé devant le mien.
Et dernière question pour moi, tu voulais revenir au mois de février, tu reviens au mois de février. Idéalement, comment se passe ton année 2025?
Idéalement, je gagne ce combat sans blessure, je recombats dans 2-3 mois et ensuite je recombats encore l'UFC Paris et ensuite je recombats encore à la fin de l'année. 4 combats, 4 victoires, c'est l'objectif.
Let's go, merci beaucoup.
Merci à toi et merci d'être venu.
Kevin, just back here. Jonathan McAuliffe was the man who won the title that you left on the local scene when you made it to the UFC. How aware of Jono were you prior to getting matched up with him?
I knew his name because obviously we have a few welterweight boys at City Kickboxing who could potentially fight him on the show on Hex. I'm thinking about the Vakir brothers who could have fought him as well. So I knew his name, but I didn't watch his fights before I got the call. But you know, like I'm always looking ahead of me. You know, at this stage he was not ahead of me, so it made no sense for me at this stage to look at his fights. But as soon as they gave me the name, I was like, yeah, of course, I'll take it. And then I've watched the fights, and I was like, yeah, sweet, gonna be a good one.
Do you have any opinion on the UFC matching you up with someone who's making their debut?
No, and at the end of the day, I have a contract, and I know how much I'm getting paid. Doesn't matter who I'm fighting. So if they ask me someone who is doing his debut or someone who is top 10, it's the same thing. You know, it's not really changing anything. Plus, I lost my last fight, so who am I to ask for someone? You know what I mean?
Thank you, Kev.
Hey, Kev. You're back in Sydney, where you had your UFC debut. So will Sydney always kind of have a special place in your heart to fight here?
Yeah, absolutely. First fight here, UFC 293, September last year. I've had a great first UFC fights, great first round finish. So yeah, as you said, it will always be a great memory for me, and I'm just planning to have another great memory in a few days now.
And you've had a lot of guests at CKB over the last month, and with Volk and Robert Whittaker, and a lot of people preparing for fights. Does that kind of increase the energy and intensity in the gym? What's the energy been like, and do you find it helpful when you're preparing for a fight and the gym is in that environment?
We always have great energy at the gym. We always have great people to train with. But it's great though, like when we have new guys coming in, you know, it gives us different look, different kind of fighting style to train with. So yeah, it was great to have those guys over, obviously. But even when nobody's over, we have such a great team, such a good training partners. So yeah.
And do you think you'll have time to support your teammate Cam Rowson this weekend at Eternal?
I'll tell you what, I won't be in the venue, unfortunately, because that's the day just before me, but I'll definitely be watching from my room. And I truly believe that this guy is ready to fight in the UFC right now. And after the win he's going to have on Saturday night, I hope and I'm sure he will be one of the next UFC guy from City Kickboxing.
Thank you.
I was just after a prediction for the main event between Duplessis and Strickland.
I didn't think about it. I think it's going to be a pretty similar fight than what they've had last time. I think it's going to be like 3 rounds to 2 rounds for one or another. I can't tell you who's going to win because I would need to like go deeper into my into watching their fights to really have a proper opinion. I don't like to give a quick opinion if I'm not sure about what I'm going to say. But yeah, it should be a tough, hard fight to watch. So I hope many fans will be watching.
Just over here in the back. When Rob was over training at City Kickboxing, did you manage to get some rounds training with him or sparring with him?
Unfortunately, no. He was only here for a couple of days, so we only had one sparring session. And yeah, he was already pretty much everyone jumped on him as soon as they could to try to get some rounds with him. Yeah, so not this time, but from my understanding, he will come back to the gym, which is great. And I'm looking forward to train with him as well.
What was the energy like in the room when you first walked in and started talking with Izzy and training with everyone? What was it like?
It was surprising. It was very surprising. I was not expecting it. I mean, Huge told us a few weeks prior, asking if some of us cared about it or if it was annoying for us, and we all said no, that's sweet. He's good, and I think he's a good guy. It would be good for all of us to train with him. But we didn't know when he was coming, and I just popped up in the gym. He was there, and I'm like, oh, and it was good. He seems to be a good guy from what I've seen of him. So I'm sure he will be feeling very comfortable with us at the gym for whenever you want to come to the gym.
Thank you, mate.
Sweet. Easy. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Oh.